That's it.
Boom, and we're live.
It's too loud. Hold on. Oh. Justin
That
is,
was pretty loud.
yeah, that's a little better. Sorry, guys. Justin's not here today. The birth of his second child happened this weekend.
He has 2 kids now?
He has 2 kids.
Dang, 3 titles, 2
2
kids.
little girls. So congratulations, Justin. But, he will not be joining us. It's just me and Noah, like good old days.
Yeah, we don't want him anyway.
we don't need his barely
He
being
makes us
Santos
look bad.
says. Well, I mean, not this week.
It's too smart.
Did you? Oh, you lost.
Did he win?
He did, but he played Santos.
Oh, come on. Win with 79 points?
And he barely won.
I can't wait to play Santos, and he puts up like 115 and beats me by 8 points, and I just lose.
I legit thought Guy was going to do that this week and like make me sweat. And then I was like, okay, never mind. Whew, okay, we're good. We're fine. But yeah, here we go. This is week 10, starting week 10. 9 games in the books. Playoffs are on the horizon. The trade deadline has passed.
So we have 5 games left in the regular season.
Yep. And then insanity ensues. And how are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about the trade deadline being done? Only way to upgrade the team is the waiver wire.
Oh, I feel terrible about it. I have no fab. I'm poor. I was like, let me. Who did I put a bid in for? No, yeah, I put a bid in for Keaton Mitchell. I'm like, yeah, let me just throw one in there just in case.
The safety bid, maybe
outbid by $37. I tried to do that with Gibson too, and got outbid by $2.
How much do you have? Any fab?
I have 9 fab.
Oh god.
Yeah,
hey,
that Amari DiMercado play did not exactly work out.
You might get one more week of him though. Was he practicing?
No
practice.
No practice. Darn. Well, I feel better about a toe injury than a knee injury with Pierce. So hopefully he plays.
True. And Connor might not be back this week.
This would be the upset of the year if I scrape out a win here.
Yeah, I
For
should
sure.
take care of business, even without Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. It's not looking good for me.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. Some wildness might have ensued on Monday night, but the miraculous Chargers held off what might have been the craziest in-season story of all time. But let's talk about that when we get there. Let's start with the bottom 3. Not much to talk about. Santos at 12, Guy at 11, Brent at 10.
Guy at 11. What is that a drop of? Oh, no drop. He was already at 11?
Yeah, everyone is where they were.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I haven't been on the pod in a couple weeks.
Yeah. When we missed you. So,
Life.
I get it. Welcome back. Hey, at least, I mean, you're not having kids, right?
What? You glitched out. What'd you say?
You're not having kids, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
other life reasons. Okay. But yeah, Santos, Guy, and Brandon, no change. They belong there. They all lost. It's not going to change for them. But we have a big drop at 9, and I think I have some good. Nope, that's the wrong one. Ah, poop. Hold on, wait. I thought I had. Dude, it's tough getting. There we go. It's Jacob. Jacob's at 9, and it's painful. It's painful to see this team that is so hot and cold have a cold week against a good Ken roster that's consistent. Lamar Jackson's Ravens blow out the Seattle Seahawks 37-3. He only scores 11. Tony Pollard can't get it together. Adam Thielen came down to earth. Travis Kelce only scored 3 points. And yeah, you can't win. You can't win like that. And I think the problem with Jacob's roster is that it's literally like boom or bust. It's so boom or bust. No consistency.
Yeah, what's his points for?
His points for
in
the middling of the pack.
I just don't think this is a playoff team. I don't think Addison is going to be like that revelation that carries you. He definitely he burned bright, and I don't think Josh Jobs will sustain that. What are your thoughts on Kelce? Like, is he still the tight end 1? He is, okay.
Yeah, and I think Kelsey will
He
be
had one big
fine.
game.
But I think that defenses will continue. Like I think Denver did it and Miami did it, and they're in the bye now. But the defenses will continue to make sure they just take away Kelsey because they know the rest of the Chiefs' offense can't beat them.
Well, what about Madison? Is he startable now that Akers is down? Like, is he going to be your RB2?
I think so. I think you have to play him, especially with Dobbs. Hopefully, you don't have like a Kirk Cousins situation where he just throw 50 times in a game. Like they need a run game, and they will try to get one going with Madison, who looked good this last week. So I think I think you have to play him regardless. Just looking at who's on the lineup, Hubbard was a cool pickup, but he has not been efficient at all, and I think that's similar to like defenses just keying in, knowing, hey, let's stop the guy who's actually dangerous and make
What's his
Panthers throw on
schedule?
us.
So he plays Justin and Guy before divisional. So, I mean, he could make a play for playoffs, but he'd have to get through me at full strength and Josh, which would be tough.
Yep.
So if he gets 7 losses, finishes at 8-7, I feel like there's going to be a lot of 8-7 teams, and that's not going to be good enough to get to playoffs. So we'll see. There's definitely a path, but
I agree, and it's just a lot of honestly with this team is a lot of like just missed or not realized potential. Pollard, Addison,
yeah, Pollard has been
Jackson.
a real mystery of why he's not producing.
Yeah, started so hot, and now it's done nothing last month. Justin's at 8, drop a 2, and this comes off the dud week against Santos, where he does win, but should have lost. 79 points is not viable in this league.
Yeah, what's the news on Stafford? Is he coming back?
Rams signed Carson Wentz this week.
Nice.
There's some speculation that that's because there's a good chance that Stafford will miss several games, possibly go on IR, and Brett Rippon was so terrible they needed someone who was at least competent. I think that's a huge red flag for Kupp, who is the backbone of this team.
Right.
And yeah, that's Disasterville. The trade for Davante Adams didn't work out this week. Let me ask you, Noah. I think I'm out on Adams this year. I think with Aiden O'Connell and the new offense, I don't want Davante Adams.
I don't think you can start him until something changes. So he's just kind of riding your bench, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but luckily Justin didn't spend a lot to get him. Although I do like Nico Collins, who he gave away.
How did Nico do? That trade was essentially Davante for Nico, right?
Yep. Nico had 13, 3 for 5, 54 and a touchdown.
I think Nico will be the winning end of that deal.
I agree. And then they swapped Seahawks receivers, so flip a coin. But yeah, I don't like Justin's outlook. I guess I like it a little more than Jacobs, but not much.
Yeah, so he's playing Jacob this week. Jacob is starting 2 Vikings, but Justin's starting 2 Lions, who are both running backs, which seems a little bit risky.
Yeah. The matchup isn't great.
I think he's done this before. Let me see if I can find it.
Where he played both Lions?
Yeah. I don't recall which week it was.
Wasn't against me. Because he got just Gibbs at full strength.
It wasn't against me. When did I trade Gibbs? Week 4? What is his name? Koopa Troopas. Okay, I don't think he did. I think he considered it, but didn't do it.
Yeah. Gibbs ended up being out that week. I remember now.
Oh,
he was going to play both of them against Carolina, but Gibbs ended up not being in.
Let's see how that pays off.
Yeah.
He tried 2 Rams receivers, and that didn't really work out either.
Because even if they both have a solid game, neither will be huge. It'll be like 15-15. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. I know it's what he has to do. I don't think he has a better play on the bench right now with Kupp on bye, Pacheco on bye, Davante Adams sucking against a really good Jets defense, and I don't want to play Michael Wilson. so it makes sense from the roster end. But
Yeah, I might play Devontae Adams over like Montgomery.
versus the Jets,
I mean, there's upside there.
what upside? Like they just held Keenan Allen, who has a much better quarterback, to like
I don't know,
7.
dude. Just throw a fade route and
Just put
just
it up.
pray that
Sauce isn't
you
all
can do
over it.
something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not looking good. And then, I mean, obviously, we both want Justin to miss playoffs, but he has a chance. He has a real chance to make it. I thought for sure. I thought Santos was going to get him last week and end his hopes. I really did. It was so close. Moving on. It's you at 7, and I've got you at 6. You have yourself at 8. Why are you so down on yourself, man?
Because I'm upset. No, I mean, last week when I was at 99%, by the way, have we ever seen a 99 to 1% comeback?
I don't know.
I don't think I have.
It was crazy.
I thought that was cool just on that fact alone. Like, oh, okay, nice. It can happen. Cool.
It's possible.
But the reality is not a lot has changed. If my team does return to health, and I am optimistic that Dobbs will produce with Jefferson, all I really have to do is win out my division. Even if I lose to Josh, I could still make playoffs through various tiebreakers. I'm sure some 8-7 teams will make it. So playoffs is still definitely possible, if not likely. Even if I lose this week and drop to 5-5. So we'll see. Still
7-6 teams. Wait, it's 14 games.
It's 8-7 is what you'd finish at.
No, it's 15. It's 14 games. So 8-6, 7-7.
No, it's 15 games.
Playoffs start week 15.
Oh yeah, it used to be 7-6.
Yeah, it used to be odd. Now it's even.
Now it's even. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So I'd be 8-6.
8-6. Yeah.
Yeah, which probably should be.
Should be.
It
good.
might be good enough.
Yeah.
I think I almost made it last year at 7 wins. Was there a 7-win team that made it last year?
That's a great question. Very possible. I feel like they're like
just by the fact that there is a division winner that was 7-7.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I'm trying to find it. Okay. Last year, Guy made it in at 7-7.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's crazy.
I don't think that happens again. But I mean, Josh is 5-4. There isn't like a clear winner in terms of record in my division.
It's true. It's true. It's going to come down to the wire.
Although Josh will probably pass me.
It's you and Josh. No, Mark is the dark horse, I think. But yeah, I think there's a lot to look forward to. I know you have a tough matchup this week against me. But next week you play Santos, which is delicious. The week after that,
Achan should be back.
Achan, yep. You play Mark.
And Swift.
I think you have a better team than Mark at full strength. JJ should be back for sure then. And week 13, you're back in the division. Or I mean, it's your division, and then you probably beat Jacob. So I think you make it. And then in playoffs, man, anything can happen. And I like the team that has boom player Achan, Devontae Smith without Goddard, DeAndre Swift.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of good things. And Josh Allen is such a difference maker, and Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I think the Devontae Smith trade will work out. Dotson has been producing.
Yeah,
could be nice as a flex. I don't know how long Curtis Samuel is out, but that definitely helps.
Yeah, you've seen the boon.
Definitely some optimism, not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, and points 4. I think you're third in points 4, right?
Yes, despite 4 weeks now without Jefferson and Achan.
Yeah, Deontay Foreman's 3 touchdown week will get you there.
Yeah, that helped for sure.
Going to 6, it's Mark. We just talked briefly about him. Big spender of Fab this week picks up Keaton Mitchell to solidify the Ravens' backfield. And I think the problem with Mark is his schedule. Plays Guy this week, should be a win. He plays Justin, which you would think is a toss-up, but he's missing Kamara and his tight end and his Saints defense, who's been very good, and Matt Gay, his kicker. So that's kind of a disaster. After that, he plays Josh. No, sorry. He plays Jacob. Should be a good one. But when he plays Josh, he's missing the Ravens and the Bills, which is his entire team. They're all gone.
What week is that?
That's week 13. So it's like two clutch bye weeks are going to come up here that he needs to win, and he's going to be down huge pieces.
Dude, look at my projections in week 13.
Do you have your? Oh no! Oh no! You miss. Oh, but Josh,
I won't be
Jacob's
playing
missing a
most
ton
of
of
those
people
people.
too.
Yeah, the Ravens and the Vikings are on bye, so I actually think I win that game.
Yeah, you'll have HM back. You won't be. You don't have JJ,
Swift.
but he won't have Madison. That's wild.
Oh, Houston against Denver.
Yeah, let's go. But yeah, Mark's got a tough road ahead, and he really needed to pick up some of these earlier wins in the year. I think he's going to be battling for that 7-7 wild card spot. And his points far aren't as good as the other people in the league. He's actually in the bottom half of scoring, and I think that's the big problem with Mark is these weeks, like last week, if I remember correctly, yeah, it should have been a win, and he lost, and then games that he rightfully should lose, he's not producing. It's just been rough for Mark. Kamara has also seen his production dip a little with Taysom Hill taking over goal line duties, which is a problem. So I think Mark, I know right now he's at 6, but he could be sliding down, and you or Jacob or Justin could be taking a spot here at the bottom end of the playoffs.
Yeah, dude, week 12 is going to be epic. Josh and I at full strength. Kind of fighting for the division right there. Oh, can't wait.
That'll be fantastic.
Moving
on. Sam's at 5. Huge riser for
4.
Sam. Yeah, big boost to 4. He was a little higher earlier, but reasoning prevailed. He's, I think, where he needs to be. And this is a promising team with a lot of potential that's ultimately hurt by a lot of early losses and low scoring. He's literally the bottom of the league in scoring. Oh, Santos, he finally passed Santos. Good for you, Sam. It's going to hurt him with tiebreakers, but a lot to like with this squad. Burrow, Barkley, Taylor, Higgins, London's getting it done, Laporta, Rashad White's been hot, Jalen Waddle, Puka Nacua, if Stafford comes back, should be a big boost. Tell me where you think Sam ends up.
I think his roster is pretty good. It took a while for JT to get back, but he got 74% of the snaps. He does have a bye coming up. Is Barkley past his bye, I believe?
No. He's a bye in week 13, which is going to be brutal.
That hurts. So he is 4-5. I mean, Guy should be a free win in his division, but I don't think the other two teams will be. Who does he have the next 2 weeks?
Bryn this week.
Bryn.
And he's got Kessner. Oh, God. Kessner next week. Down.
I don't think. I think, unfortunately, despite the strength of the roster, he does not make playoffs. So that's why I have him a little bit lower. That 5-4 versus 4-5 is really brutal.
Yeah.
But if he drops a game to Kessner and drops a game in his division, that'll be tough. That probably won't make it.
It'll be hard to make it on 7-7, especially with no points for.
And he obviously won't be the division lead.
Yeah. Tough for Sam. Hopefully he digs it out. I'm hoping he shoves Justin out. That's my hope and goal. But tough sledding. He's got to win some big matchups. If he can come up with an upset against Kessner or an upset against Josh, or not Josh, Ken, something like that, he'll have a shot at it. But they need to play. When does he play Ken without? Oh no, thank God. Okay, so he's at full strength against Ken at least before Barkley goes on by. All right. Moving on, it is Kessner at 4. Another drop for Kessner, who was at 2 last week. Goes all the way down to 4 here. even after a win, so drop after a win. And I don't know about you. I know I dropped him down. Oh, wait. I know why you dropped him down.
Out of spite.
Spite because you can. I dropped him down because what my concern about this roster came true last week, even though he got a win on the miraculous combined 47 points from the Chargers defense and Eckler. This team is a glass cannon. The depth that we thought existed doesn't exist. His top two players go on by, and Kester is struggling everywhere. Doesn't have Mahomes to help him out. Jacoby Myers should have had a worse game. He has a really lucky end-around touchdown run. Otherwise, he was 2 for 5 for 30. Like, horrendous. And Ken Walker is losing snaps to Charbonnet. Arthur Smith is refusing to use Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, that's the biggest red flag.
And Goddard's hurt, and he gone. So, I think it's fitting that he's dropped. I know if I'm Kester, I'm concerned about those pieces, but at this point, it's full pedal on the gas and hope that your guys that you drafted pull you through.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Mahomes is great. Obviously, he has a good playoff schedule if he can get there. But the blow to the tight end and the flex is really rough. I don't know where I stand on Myers. Like, he still produces, but obviously 1 target, 5 targets, not great. But yeah, the Bijan and the Seahawks backfield situation is really rough. Really, really rough. But I mean, it's so annoying that I can say that's really rough, and he still has Eckler and Etienne, who, when they're fit, and from this point on, pretty much should be monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
definitely still has firepower.
Amon-Ra, Etienne, and Eckler should be good for 60 at least a week, between the three of them. And that's going to win you some games.
So he's not 4-5, he is 5-4, which is huge. Tough matchup this week against Ken.
Yeah.
And then against Sam, but I think Sam has a couple players on bye.
He's got JT on bye.
Just JT, yeah. So not a freebie by any means against Sam. But if he pulls out those 2 wins, he's looking real good.
Spicy. They're both at full strength.
Yeah. That's going
to be a juicy one.
Awesome.
Oh, except for Tua. I didn't realize.
Oh, yeah, Tua is on bye. I forgot about that. So not quite full strength.
Has Carr been getting it done? He's been all right.
No.
Fine. All right. But Mahomes on bye. Okay, so the quarterback matchup's just gone. They're both missing their quarterback. All right. I think that's going to be the matchup of the week, Josh versus Ken.
Yeah, I agree.
Good one. Josh is all in the Jaguars, by the way. Lawrence, Etienne, Ridley. All in the lineup. Lock and load. Playing against San Francisco. Oh, no.
I mean, has San Francisco really been that great of a defense?
On defense? Yes, they have. Absolutely, they have.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we'll see, I guess, this week. Gosh. Are they on the waiver wire? Wait, is their defense on the waiver wire? I guess not that I'm picking them up against Jacksonville. 5-1-2-1-4-2-3 sacks. They've been bad against Minnesota and Cincinnati. Otherwise, they've been really good. Turnovers every week, 3 to 4 of them. Yeah, they've been good. All right, Kester. Let's touch on it briefly. Day of trade deadline, shot his whole team out to the league and said, "Come get him." There was a lot of speculation. I don't know about you, Noah. I know my phone blew up. I had like 4 or 5 people.
I sent a really high pick offer for Etienne that he didn't decline, so I wonder if that was one of his got it locked and loaded just in case trades.
Did you? What was it in the top 3 rounds?
Yes.
I know that he had a deal for a player for like a 2nd round pick.
That may have been me.
No. Well, okay. I wasn't going to oust. I also know he had from someone else had a 2nd round pick that wasn't you. On the table as well. I know that he was also trying to buy, and he was kind of in a catch-22 with the team, showing the team's weakness looking like he was going to lose. Dropped the 4 and 5. And I want to ask you, Noah, because he sent me a text. Actually, I'm going to read the text. I won't read our whole conversation, but I do want to read the text because I want to see what you would have said to it. Oh my gosh. I need to be more, have all this stuff up and ready to go. Okay. Here it is. Sends me the text, and he's getting a second back for one of his best players. And he said, "I'm so torn."
Ah, man. So he
How would you have,
almost gave him to me.
How would you have responded if someone was saying, like, essentially, what would you do in my shoes? Would you sell? Would you buy? Would you sell here? What would you say?
I am never in favor of. I mean, maybe I would give him bad advice intentionally because I want him out of the race. But
it's over now. You can't.
If I were being honest, I would never sell when I still have a chance of playoffs because it's too hard to get there. Unless you're really down and out, like if he had been 3 and 5 going into this week, yeah, he probably pulled that trigger with all the uncertainty. But he was 4 and 4. Oh man, it's tough though because if you drop to 4 and 5, that is way worse. But your team is still good. Like your team is not bad. You're not hoping on fluke wins every week to sneak into playoffs. Like your team is good.
Yeah.
So, I probably would have advised him against it.
And that's what I said. I said, this isn't a tough decision to me. And he was like, screw the picks, right? And I said,
the reason I offered
the
second round picks is because all second round picks are bad. You're banking on last year's production and it never works out. Like all second round picks are terrible. They were all busts in our league.
You know what I'm going to tell you, and
Except
which is why I sold my first so fast? Outside the top 3 picks in the first round, I don't want a first round pick. I don't want one. I don't want the Bijans and the Devontae Adams and the Kelsey. Yeah. Like I don't want those players. I don't want the Cooper Kupps of the situation. CeeDee Lamb finally turned it around, and Josh Kobayashi had the minds and the heads up to take AJ Brown at the back in the first round, which was ahead of ADP. Good for you, Josh. Generally, someone else terrible was being picked there. Yeah, I'll say it right now. I think draft capital is overrated. After this last draft, not having a first round pick, and still navigating and finding value in the later rounds, and still getting enough ammo to go move around and trade, like I'll probably sell my first round pick from here on out. No.
Yeah, it's definitely a viable strategy, especially with how we do keepers. You may see that picks are more freely given and not as valued, which would be interesting. The dichotomy of like loaded picks versus like high value keepers and actually just drafting well. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I was shopping a pick around a lot. I didn't want to give up a first, but I was pretty content with giving up a second, assuming that my keepers are going to be epic, which I think they are. So I was like, okay, if I can still draft my whole team within the first five rounds, I'm kind of okay with it to give myself a better shot at winning this year. So it didn't happen because I couldn't get any takers. I went after Pollard and I went after Travis Etienne, but didn't make it happen.
Yeah, and I think too that I think what you just said is the main point. I want to win every year. As a manager, you said.
Let's talk about Guy then, because Guy, did he not sell his team at 4 and 3? Like
let's talk about it. No, he was 5 and 2.
No, it wasn't 5 and 2.
I'm looking.
How do you?
Oh no, he was 4 and 2. Oh wait, he won in week 8.
I think he was 4 and 3.
He was 4 and 3.
Which at the time I think he was at least tied for a division lead.
He was leading the division.
Yeah, he was winning the division. And he sells Jamar Chase and someone else.
Bijan? He sold everybody.
He didn't sell Bijan that week.
He did. He sold Bijan was the first trade. So it went. Bijan was out, and then Jacoby Myers went, and then I bought Chase, which is what clued me in that Chase might be available. Literally, Bijan went,
Yeah, it might be available.
and it was like, and he sold him for Stevenson, and it was like, okay, maybe this is just like a lateral move, like picked up some draft capital, kind of see Stevenson's easier schedule. Bijan has been performing, like okay, like I can kind of make this. And then he sold Myers, which was just a straight up sell, not for a lot, and it was like, oh wait, hold on a second. And then I hit him up and said, yeah, I'll give you a first for Chase. He said, let's get it done.
Wow,
Like,
that's insane.
he went full out. Yeah, and that's
And the craziest part of this, I think, to me is like, okay, so now he has 2 first-round picks.
Yep.
He already had 2 first-round picks this year, essentially. Like he kept Chase.
Yep.
And he had Bijan. Those are your 2 first-round picks, and you're in a winning position with still a decently solid team. You maybe don't like your points for as high as where they could be, but it's crazy to me to just say, okay, let's play for next year.
If I was Guy in that
At that
situation, looking at underperforming players and being concerned, I would have been buying. I would have been.
Yeah, like, okay, you could say Bijan sucks. Well, Bijan is a huge name, and go sell him and get someone back. And if he did that Ramondre trade and kept Chase and bought someone else, he would easily be in playoff contention.
Yeah, no, I
he might still
absolutely
be in playoff contention. There's no way he wins the league.
I don't think with this roster. He sold Javonte Williams. He sold Aaron Jones. So right now, the crux of his team is Stevenson, Christian Kirk, Deebo Samuel. I guess Deontay's been coming on hot. That's not exciting. That would be really funny if Guy makes playoffs with this roster, though. That would be amazing, actually, because he would have to kick out someone else who's much better of a team.
That'd be great.
He plays Mark this week, and the projections have them dead neck and neck.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I would love for Mark to lose.
And then he plays he plays Jacob the week after, missing Stevenson. So I guess that'll hurt. Probably lose that one. Loss. Week 12, he plays Justin, and they're at full strength.
That could be for a playoff spot right there.
That's crazy. And he ends the year playing Ken, so he'll get trashed by Ken. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. I like the potential of my squad now and what I can do with it now over what I might have next year. You know?
And we sold Herbert too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. If he had a failing squad and was like 1-6, completely different. You know, but he had the early season wins.
Yeah.
And Kessler had the early season wins too. I know he's only 5-4 right now, but
it's so much harder to turn your team around and buy when you're in the negative win column.
Yeah.
But he was in the positive win column. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh well. Maybe he'll big brand and win it all next year.
Maybe we'll see.
It would be worth it.
We'll see. I don't know.
Moving on.
I'm just against it. That was Kessler too. At 3, it's Ken. Ken back up 4 spots, and this team's good, man.
You had him drop that far?
Yeah, he dropped a lot. I don't know exactly why. Actually, maybe we weren't in on Mixon, but like Mixon, McLaurin have turned it on significantly over the last couple weeks, and any team with CMC is a juicy one. And he picked up Tua too, which has been a great addition.
Yeah, I think that was a good play.
And so yeah, this team is just good. At full strength, Tua, McCaffrey, Mixon, McLaurin, Allen.
In my mind, locked for playoffs.
Absolutely, I think Ken is the favorite for one of the 2 seeds, the 1 or 2. He's only a game behind me, and I have you, Josh, and Josh ahead of me. So there's a chance that Ken can overtake me for the number 1 seed.
You play Kobayashi?
Uh-huh. I play Kobayashi, and we're both at full strength next week.
Wait. Oh, in week 11?
Yeah.
Dang. Can you beat him, please?
I'm going to try. If I can pick that game up, I think I locked to number 1. So, I think so too. Desperately hoping to. But like I said, we're both at full strength. He gets his Eagles back. I got no one on bye. Like that'll be a good one next week.
Mm-hmm.
I get Hill back. Yeah. So Ken though, gonna make playoffs for sure. Might get the second seed just because the infighting in the All Madden division. I think you guys kind of tearing into one another in your divisional games will cut you out of the top seed. And like I beat Ken early in the year. I don't want to play him again. I'm not. That was difficult. Okay. And he's playing Bryn this week. Wait, hold on. I'm a week ahead. Sorry. He's playing Josh Gessner this week, which is the game of the week, I think. And yeah, it'll be a good one. Hopefully he can scoop a dub right here and kick Kessner further behind me. And that'd be good. That'd be really good. Whenever one of the top 6 teams play, or top 4 play against one another, it's a good time.
Yep. All right, moving on to 2. Change of 1, apparently.
Yep. Josh was at 3, now he's at 2. And you've got him at number 1.
Cannot be stopped. 5 wins in a row.
5 wins in a row.
When he was 0-3 and he was like, guys, don't worry, there's positive regression coming. I'm like, okay, Josh. All right, buddy. And I am eating my words because he's probably going to come from behind and win my division.
He was 0-4. He's on a 5-win streak.
But he came on the pod when he was 0-3.
Oh, yeah.
But then he dropped to 0-4. And I'm like, see, Josh, you were wrong. And then he was like, okay, watch this. Yeah, his team is freaking loaded. And I kind of always knew it was. It just hadn't been performing. But it's performing now.
Oh, it's firing it on all cylinders now.
He's basically right at the top with everyone else for points for. Only difference is by a few points, so a roaring comeback. And yeah, I definitely think this is a playoff team. We play each other in week 12, and we'll both be at full strength, so that game may decide the division, but if he wins that game, I know that in my mind he wins the division, which would be pretty awesome. Starting 0-4, not only coming back to make playoffs, but winning your division is awesome. Theoretically, in the hunt for a bye as well.
Yeah, he definitely can scoop the bye. I think it would take him winning some of these tougher matchups, like against me, against you. Did he play Ken yet? I forget if he plays Ken.
Yeah.
He did, okay.
Actually,
it might have been early on. I don't remember.
Yeah,
he got smashed by Ken early on. That was his 4th loss. And that's something to remember too, guys, is like when you start off poorly, when you're playing against the better teams in the league and you lose the first 3 or 4 games, you're going to play the easier teams later on. Like the schedule's going to get flipped. Everyone plays everyone. So right now, like Justin is kind of benefiting that. He's playing some of the worst teams. He's got the Santos matchup. He's got the Guy matchup. And he's kind of picking up these free wins. Whereas early in the year, he had a bad record. And Josh is just, I think he's the team to beat outside of my division. He's so good. There are a few differences or very small things that I don't like about this roster, but nothing is like alarm worthy. It's just like little nuances. Like I don't really like Breece Hall's upside in that offense. We don't know how Achan's going to affect Mostert, but nothing to be like alarm bells. Just it's really good. And playing Kittle and Ayuk again, I'm never really in on that, but you got to do what you got to do. And Kittle's been good the last couple weeks, so that's good. But yeah, Josh, good job, dude. I hope to not see you in playoffs.
Yeah, same.
I don't want to deal with this roster twice. I feel bad.
Remember when all the Kobayashis were 1-4 and life was good?
It was so good. It was the best the league's ever seen. And now they're all vying for playoffs.
Yeah, it's like
very annoying.
We thought we could get away with it.
At number 1, it's me.
No change.
And you have me at 2. Why do you like? I'm curious because I know why I like my roster.
Let me pull them up side by side because I kind of just am very high on Josh's team at the moment.
Yeah, I think
I didn't do a side by side comparison.
I think there's a clear line between the 1 and 2 and the rest.
All right,
But
that's his team. That's your team. Okay. How do I feel about Derrick Henry is a good question to ask myself. I mean, it's really, really close. It's really close. Your receivers are definitely better, and that should probably be the edge. I like his tight end more. I like his running backs more. Do I like his running back more? At the moment, I like his running backs more. That might change when Achane comes back. I like his quarterback more. Yeah, I don't know. It's close because I like his running backs more. I like your receivers more, and your receivers could like combine for 100 points, just the three of them. It's really annoying. But
you missed. I don't know if you listened to last week's pod, but
no, I didn't.
I picked Justin's brain because I was curious as to where he'd have me. He had me at 1, and I said, I know you like this roster, Justin, because I've finally joined you in the receiver power. Receiver is better.
Supremacy. Yeah,
yes,
it is.
Supremacy. So again, small differences between me and Josh. One of the big things I really like about the roster, and I tried to do it somewhat on the down low, is I've been trying to mold players that have really good playoff matchups. So like Henry gets Houston, Seattle, and Houston as his matchups, and he has scored 200 yards on Houston the last 4 times he's rushed against them.
Yeah, history definitely favors that. I feel like it's going to be different this year, but I mean, why bet against it when it works every single year?
Then like Hill and Chase, I didn't really like just because it's Hill and Chase.
Doesn't matter.
Javonte Williams gets Detroit, New England, Los Angeles Chargers, who all have terrible rush defenses, and they're looking like they're going to force feed him the ball. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, who I have 4 of, which is unfortunate. That was just a side effect. Week 15 isn't great, San Francisco, but I'm hoping to be on bye. Then he gets Chicago and Philadelphia, and the passing work against Philadelphia has been phenomenal all year. Yeah, just like the Browns, dude, the Browns defense. Why I spent 10 on them? Get Chicago, Houston, and New York Jets as their playoff matchup. So like, I've been really trying to take advantage of having the best record and putting together players who have really good playoff matchups. We'll see if it pans out. Yeah, I'm just little things that I prefer. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping Ken and Josh get to the other end of the playoffs, and I see one of them in the final.
Yeah, I don't expect you'll play either one until the final.
Yeah, which would be nice.
Unless they lose the championship, obviously.
Yeah, I obviously don't want to lose that, but
so real quick, we have 3 divisional winners and 3 wild cards that go to playoffs. Who do you think it'll be?
Okay, so I think we both think I think Ken's going to win his division.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he gets a bye.
I will agree with that.
I think that I will win my division, and I will get a bye.
Agreed.
Now it comes the toss-up. Who wins your division?
Who does it? Who is it going to be?
I think Josh does win your division.
Okay. Is Josh going to win his next 2 matchups? The answer is possibly.
He's going to beat Santos, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
My game is the coin. It's a truly coin flip. It'll be a coin flip, I think. We literally have everybody. And there's no like.
Yeah, I think it's really. I think we both go 1-1 the next 2 games, and then decide it on week 12. It's gonna be awesome.
It'll be a good one. That'll be a good one. I think Josh does, and I think that puts him at the 3 seed. Which is a little annoying because the 3 seed. Wait, am I reading this right? Okay, hold on a second. Why are you? What? Are you the 3 seed right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so playoff standings. Okay, so yeah, I guess the 4-5 can play on the top end of the bracket. I guess that's how that works. So 3 seed would be good. That means he would play against the 6 on the other end. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, I think he's the 3 seed. I think you will be the 4th seed. I think that you will have a better record than Kessner to end the year.
Really?
I do. I think Kessner's makes playoffs 100%, but I think he's the 5th seed, which doesn't matter either way. You would play each other. So however that works out.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Me having a better divisional record than him.
Yeah. Either
Winning
way,
on
if he's
points
the 4,
for.
you're the 5, or vice versa. You guys would play week 1 of playoffs.
Oh, that would be sick. I would love to get vengeance.
Yeah, little revenge match, or it could be the like just the foot on the neck, just like, hey, by the way, I beat you before, I'll beat you again.
Oh yeah, in true comeback fashion.
yeah, I'm finishing what I started. But that would be cool. And then I think, and this is where I might be spicy, Sam steals the 6th spot from Justin and Mark. I think they would be competing for it, and I think Sam comes in and takes it from them. But you could make an argument for him or Mark or Justin or Jacob, really. What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be Jacob. I think Jacob wins his next 2 matchups and then beats Mark to get to 7 wins, and as the 7-7 team that goes in.
That would be so spicy. As long as it's not Justin. Guys, the league needs to do a better job of beating Justin. I'm one of the ones who failed. But 4 of us have failed. Yeah.
I should have succeeded, but I didn't.
I tried. You didn't listen to it, dude. I tried everything. I traded for Chase that week to try to beat Justin. I was like trying my hardest, and I offered a first before I got Chase. I offered a first for one of Sam's running backs so I could beat him. I was like, I
don't think it would have mattered, dude.
No, I had a
off.
fine week. I had a fine week, and he popped off. It was so annoying. Oh, it was frustrating. But yeah, we gotta stop him. Let his only joy this fall be that he has a 2nd child. Okay, guys. No other joy.
He can win consolation.
Yeah, go focus on his family and in consolation. But kudos to Justin. I will say the man
never gave up. He was 1-4. Never gave up. Has a shot for playoffs. Bought a lot of players. Made some good trades.
Yeah. Good for you, buddy.
He's just that good.
Stay out of the playoffs, okay? Just this one time. Let somebody else win. All right.
It's still a dynasty if you win next year, so just move it on down the line.
Yeah. As long as if he gets the 4 before anyone else gets the 3, it's like, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. I'm annoyed that I don't have 2. Like, it's you, Justin, and Josh, and he's got 3. I'm like, grrr.
It's an equal.
It's not nice. It's not fun. Anyway, you've said it all. Appreciate you coming around, being back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to be back.
And boys, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Adios.